Namaste and Siddhi Pranam. Welcome to your today's topic, which is the process of conception. So let's dive into understanding the process of conception in female body. It's really a complex interplay of physical and biological event, with sexual intercourse serving as the initial step. So sexual intercourse involves the penetration of vagina by the sexually aroused erect penis, which requires sufficient lubrication for comfortable and smooth entry. So to achieve this, both male and female genital areas have special secretion that act as lubricants, and the head of the penis or the gland penis contains hundreds of sensory nerve endings that are stimulated as the penis moves in and out of the vagina. This movement also stimulates nerve endings in the clitoris and vagina, leading to building up sexual pleasure in the female partner. While sexual pleasure is a really critical component of human sexual activity, but the ultimate goal is often to facilitate conception. Unlike many other species that use sex solely for reproduction, humans do engage in sexual activity for many reasons. Sometimes just for physical pleasure or emotional bonding, etc. The climax of sexual arousal, also known as orgasm, results in the transfer of semen from the male to the female genital tract, creating the potential for conception if the timing coincides with ovulation. So it's really important to know that the likelihood of conception depends on many factors, including timing of intercourse, age, and the fertility of both the partners, and any past underlying medical conditions that may impact fertility in any manner in both the partners. And in some cases, conception may require medical intervention also. So people use assisted reproductive technologies such as IVF, in vitro fertilization. So moreover, really, it's really crucial to understand that sexual pleasure and orgasm are essential component of the process of conception, but they are not essential for it to occur. So some individuals may not experience sexual pleasure or orgasm and yet still conceive through the sexual intercourse. So on the other hand, really the sexual activity without the intention of conception can still result in pregnancy. So that is why it's always recommended that couples that are not intending to be pregnant should have precautions. Now, coming on to understanding the most powerful hormone that plays a great role in the process of conception, which is oxytocin. So oxytocin is really often known as love hormone. And as a prenatal yoga teacher, it can be one of many topics that may be of your interest, because you might have to guide your students or would-be mothers about the role of oxytocin that it plays in the journey of pregnancy, as well as prior to conception, as well as during conception, while in the pregnant journey. So it's really a hormone that plays a crucial role in many different aspects of human behavior as well as physiology. So oxytocin is also often referred as love hormone because it's a very powerful hormone that it's synthesized in hypothalamus before being really transported to pituitary gland for storage and release into the bloodstream. So it's really commonly associated with childbirth and breastfeeding, but at the same time, oxytocin also has a very significant effect on our social behavior and our relationships with others. So during sexual activity, oxytocin is released in the brain, leading to feelings of trust and closeness between partners. This effect can be particularly powerful during post-sexual cuddling and other intimate moments, helping to foster a strong and stable relationship among the partners. So you can really help your student to explore and enhance their intimate relationship through the use of yoga postures, breathing exercises, and meditation techniques that promote relaxation, connection, and communication, which will really lead to creating a beautiful bond among the partners, which is not only essential for conceiving the baby, but also nurturing the baby while the baby is in the womb. So the greater the amount of love and trust and beautiful bond is there between the partners, that directly impacts the baby in the womb. So oxytocin plays a great role in that relationship. And yoga lifestyle also has many ways to create that bond in a beautiful and yogic manner. Now, beyond sexual behavior, oxytocin also has been known to promote pro-social behaviors such as generosity, empathy, and it also helps to regulate stress and anxiety for us. Another important role that oxytocin plays is in the maternal behavior and parent-child bonding. So that helps in promoting and nurturing and having a protective instincts in the parents. So you can really help the would-be mothers to cultivate these important qualities through the use of yoga practices that promote self-awareness, self-care, and sense of connectedness with others and the world around them. So to help the mothers better understand the many benefits of oxytocin, you should really explore and understand the powerful benefits of this hormone. So there have been many studies that has shown that oxytocin can have a significant impact on variety of physiological and psychological processes also. So first being the childbirth, and in that oxytocin plays a crucial role in the process of labor and delivery, helping to stimulate contraction and facilitate the delivery of the baby. And it also promotes feelings of calm and relaxation in the mothers and encourage the release of milk during the breastfeeding. The next important role that oxytocin plays is in social bonding. So oxytocin has been shown to promote feelings of trust, empathy, social connection, making it a critical factor in the formation of social bonds and relationships. It may also play a role in reducing social anxiety and promoting feeling of well-being and contentment within us. The next role that oxytocin play is managing our stress and anxiety. So oxytocin has been shown to have a very calming effect on our body, helping to reduce level of stress and anxiety. And it may also play a role in regulating the body's response to stress, helping to promote resilience and emotional stability. So the next role that it plays is in parent-child bonding. So oxytocin plays a very key role in promoting maternal behavior and parent-child bonding, helping to really foster feelings of love, attachment, and protectiveness in the new parents. So you can really help the mothers with introducing meditations and visualization practices and yoga practices that promotes relaxation and connection. And you can also let them know that how they should positively use or consciously use the benefits of oxytocin in their body to support healthy production to support healthy well-being, not only of themselves but the baby as well during the journey. And for that, any meditation that connects with heart, or there are many meditations concentrating on the heart center, generating the feeling of love and bonding and connection. So any meditation that also connects to the nature, and you are connecting to the nature or the world as a whole, or you are in gratitude. So all of that really helps in creating oxytocin. Whenever there is a sense of separation in human beings, which is often there, and sense of insecurity, fear, shame, guilt are often representing the sense of separation. So whenever you introduce yogic practices or meditation practices that reduce that sense of separation and promote sense of connectedness, it could be like being in gratitude of what you have, the people you have, or visualizing the love bond with the baby, with your partner, with your family members, or with the world as a whole. All these kind of visualization practice or meditation practice really promotes oxytocin. And the more the level of oxytocin in the body, the better the mother will be able to not only nurture the baby in the womb, but will be a great mother afterwards also. So it's really important that you introduce the role of oxytocin during the pregnancy as well as prior to pregnancy to the mother. Now, moving on to the next is orgasm and ejaculation. So, to understand the physical aspect of pleasure, physical aspects of sexual pleasure during pregnancy is also very important. So one of the aspects of sexual pleasure that is often discussed is the orgasm, which is an intense climax of sexual pleasure. So this intense sensation is caused by the activation of sympathetic nerves that leave the sacral area of the spinal cord located in the lower back. So these nerves travel to the muscles within the lower pelvis, causing them to contract rhythmically. So as a result of this activation, the muscles at the exit of the bladder also close and preventing urination from occurring during orgasm. So the number of muscles contraction during orgasm can vary, but they typically range between 10 to 15 per orgasm. During a female orgasm, semen may clot in the upper vagina, requiring the sperm to swim through the cervix. So the contractions that occur during orgasm may facilitate the opening of the cervix, aiding the movement of the semen towards the fallopian tube. So during ejaculation, the rhythmic contractions of muscles in the lower pelvis, such as there is a muscle known as bulbospongiosus muscle, which is at the base of the penis for the male. So that propels the semen through the genital tract, and that's how we move into the semen travels into the vagina. Now, what also happens is that let's understand the nature of semen. So semen is a mixture of fluid from the vas deferens, it's a scientific term to really express the nature of sperm, and it's like a fluid-like secreted by secreted by the accessories of sex glands like the seminal vesicles and prostate glands, and there is another gland called bulbourethral gland. So the semen is alkaline in nature and is counteract the acidity of vagina. So they are both different in nature, which enables the sperm to swim through. So during orgasm, the semen is ejected between the first and the seventh contraction into the top of the vagina. So it's really important to know that the sperm can only fertilize an egg after they undergo capacitation. This is a process that activates the sperm basically. So it's crucial to understand the importance of creating a safe and inclusive space for individual, for all gender, to really discuss that about their reproductive health, if at all required at any point in time. Because there are so many factors. If you have students who are wanting to be pregnant and not able to get pregnant, so the only suggestion is to really consult a healthcare provider, because there are so many critical biological factors that plays a role in the process of conception. And so there are times when we really don't know and understand what is not helping them, or what is the problem in conception. So mostly there are also reasons of some sexual function not working properly. So it's really important to consult healthcare providers if you have at any point in time any students struggling with this. So let's understand the conception process in terms of once the sperm has entered the cervix, how it travels through, and what forms it takes, and how many days it takes to mature completely into a cellular body. So the tree that you can see here starts with day 1, day 2, and coming on to day 7. And the process starts in the ovaries with the ovulation, and it goes into fertilization, and the egg gets the sperms and the egg merged together on the day 1. Day 2 is when the zygote is formed. Day 2 is also the day when the zygote, or the one cell organism converts into the 2-cell stage. Day 3 it's 4-cell stage. By day 4 it converts into 8-cell. Day 5 it's multiple cells, and that's when it really enters into the uterus and uterine lining. The goal for the egg and the sperm which has become a zygote or a cell is to really plant itself into the uterine lining. And once it is planted into the uterine lining, at the beginning of the process, it's blastocysts, and the moment it enters and it's implanted blastocysts. So let's understand this in more detail. So the first step here is understanding ovulation here. So basically, conception is the moment when the sperm cell fertilizes an egg, resulting in the creation of zygote, as we discussed. And ovulation is a critical part of the reproductive process in that, because it is the beginning of the process. So in ovulation, it's a process where the release of an egg from the ovary that travels into the fallopian tube, where it can become fertilized with. It can fertilize with the sperm. So basically, ovulation typically occurs around day 14 of the 28-day menstrual cycle. So it can really vary also sometimes from women to women, but usually on the day 14 of a 28-day menstrual cycle is when the women starts to ovulate. Now, during ovulation, the egg is released from the ovary, and it travels through the fallopian tube towards the uterus. And this process can take anywhere from few hours to few days. And if the sperm are present in the fallopian tube during this time, they may fertilize the egg, resulting in pregnancy. So, understanding the timing and the process of ovulation is also critical. And you should know have the basic understanding that why it is critical. And also, if you have students who are struggling with conceiving, they really need to know that ovulation is a critical first step of conception. So they need to know when is that they're ovulating, and that's when they have to try to conceive. So the next thing that we can do is, the next is sperm transport. The process of conception really starts with deposition of sperm into the vagina during the sexual intercourse. So the sperm then begin their journey up through the cervix and into the uterus with the help of muscular contractions in the wall of vagina and the uterus. So once the sperm reaches the uterus, they continue its journey towards the fallopian tubes, where it will hopefully encounter an egg that has been released during ovulation. So the sperm must navigate through the sticky mucus that lines the cervix and navigate the twists and the turns of the fallopian tubes to reach the egg. So if the sperm are present in the fallopian tube when the egg is released, fertilization can occur. So the fertilized egg will then continue its journey down the fallopian tube and into the uterus, where it will implant in the lining of the uterine wall and begin to grow as a fetus. So as a prenatal yoga teacher, it's also essential to understand the process of sperm and egg meeting, as well as the journey the fertilized egg takes towards implantation. This knowledge can help you provide appropriate guidance and support to the students who are trying to conceive, or to the mothers who are trying to conceive. Now, sperm and egg meeting. So when the sperm and egg is released from the ovary during ovulation, it has a lifespan of approximately 12 to 24 hours. So if the sperm are present in the fallopian tubes when the egg is released, they have the opportunity to fertilize the egg during this narrow window time. The process of sperm fertilization occurs when the sperm penetrates the outer layer of the egg, allowing the genetic material from the sperm to combine with the genetical material from the egg. But if somehow the women even knew the ovulation timing, but the egg is not released at the same point in time when the sperm is actually waiting in the fallopian tube, which is that narrow window of 12 to 24 hours, then you have missed the chance, basically. So the sperm only stays there for a few hours, and the egg needs to release at the same time, which is not really in our control, but we can only expect that during those 3 to 4 days or 5 days window of ovulation process, egg may release. So that's when they need to try maybe a couple of times if they're struggling to be pregnant. And that's, if not, then they have to try in the next cycle next month. So once the egg is fertilized and the egg begins to divide and multiply rapidly as it makes its way down to the fallopian tube towards the uterus, and so it's really essential to also know that the timing of fertilization. So as the timing of fertilization also has an impact on the health and the development of the fetus. For example, if the fertilization occurs later in the day after ovulation, there may be higher risk of chromosomal abnormalities or other development issues in the baby. So by knowing and understanding the timing of ovulation and fertilization, we can really make informed decision for our reproductive health if required. Now, next stage is fertilization. So the fertilization, only one sperm can really successfully penetrate the outer layer of the egg and combine it with its genetic material. So once this occurs, the egg undergoes a series of changes to prevent other sperm from entry. After successful fertilization, the genetic material from the sperm and the egg combine to form a single cell called zygote. This cell contains all the genetic information necessary to create a new life, including the traits and characteristics that will be passed down to the developing fetus. So it's really essential to understand that the process of fertilization and the formation of zygote has a very critical role that it plays. So once you understand that it's a really complex process that leads to conception and fetal development, we can really know how this process is a very crucial one, and how really keeping our gene expression, which is another big topic in itself. But since genes are not only typical, the DNA which has been transmitted to you from your parents or your genetic line, but there's a science of epigenetic these days which tells you that your own behavior, which is your environment that you're kept in, also changes your gene expression. So 5% of your genes are fixed, but 95% are like malleable. They can be changed. So this is when your all over health, your lifestyle practices, your mental state, all that is going to go into that zygote. So how critical your own lifestyle practices, your own mental state, your own eating practices, your things that you embrace in life, all that is transmitted in spur of the moment into a new life. So this is when a yogic lifestyle plays a beautiful role into nurturing your healthy baby. Because if you have reproductive issues in your health, not only that is going to impact the baby, but everything that you have practiced or your partners have practiced. So it's also, I always say, it's also critical if you are of a mindset of creating a better world around you, and you believe that as a parent, you are there to nurture new lives which will bring hope and peace and light to the world, then opt for partners who are of the same mindset, who walk on the same path. And that's when you create a beautiful bond to create a beautiful zygote. So that's when the journey of a new life and the future of new life is decided in that single moment. And that's how critical the understanding of this process is. And the process is not critical, but understanding what goes into it in the spur of a moment, when in those 24 hours the zygote is formed, you have created a new life filled with so many of genetic traits that you have carried over. So what you like to pass on is, if not completely 100% a conscious choice, but still up to a very extent, it is a conscious. Now moving on to the next stage, which is implantation. So after the fertilization, the zygote begins to divide and multiply rapidly. So it then travels down to the fallopian tubes into the uterus. And during this journey, the zygote continues to develop and grow, and eventually forming a ball of cells known as blastocyst. So the blastocyst then attaches itself to the lining of the uterus, a process known as implantation. So this typically occurs about 6 to 10 days after fertilization. So once the implantation is complete, the blastocyst begins to grow and develop further, eventually becoming an embryo. So as you understand the whole process of implantation and early embryo formation, you would know that this is the first crucial step in the early stages of pregnancy. And any issues during this process can result in complication and miscarriage also. So if the woman is trying to conceive, you should know that those 5 to 6 days during ovulation period or around that time is very critical. So the chances of miscarriage around that time are much higher. So by understanding the complex process that occurs during implantation, we can really help the mothers to understand the criticality of this period and how aware they can be towards their health and health of the growing baby, and during especially those critical 4, 5, 6 days, and how they have to take care of themselves and take care of their health, and really keep visualizing in a positive space of conceiving the child, and not to indulge into harmful or self-sabotaging behaviors such as consuming alcohol, etc. That we'll discuss in the diet also, but just giving you an example. Now, the next stage is when the baby development begins. So after the zygote implants itself into the lining of the uterus, it starts to profilate and develop into blastocyst. As discussed before, the blastocyst then implants itself deeper into the lining of the uterus and begins to develop as the fetus. That is when it is known as a fluid fetus. And at this point, the fetus is made up of 3 layers of cells that will eventually differentiate and form various organs and body systems. So during this time, the fetus is also developing a placenta, which will nourish and protect it throughout the pregnancy journey. The placenta is a vital organ that connects the fetus to the mother's blood supply, allowing it to receive oxygen and nutrients necessary for its growth and development. So, as you understand that it's the essential nature of the fetus development and the early stages of fetal development, you know that the formation of placenta is also very critical in the first few stages. So it's important that many precautions are taken during the first 3 months, because it's a very critical formational period for both the baby and the organs, the necessary basic organs, and the placenta is forming there. So once this stage is crossed, it's still a safer period, but within this stage, there are so many potential issues that can arise during this critical period. So that is why we have to take care of the mothers very much during the first 3 months. From a lot of precautions we need to take during this period. Now, this also says that you need to guide the mothers to take care of themselves very well, knowing that these first 3 months are very critical for placenta formation and basic organ formation of the baby. So there are factors that can affect the process of conception, and first factor is menstrual cycle. So the process of conception can be affected by other factors also, like age and health condition, and there are lifestyle factors. And when it comes to menstrual cycle, the menstrual cycle is really a complex process that prepares the woman's body for pregnancy. So it is controlled by a delicate balance of hormones and can be influenced by many factors, including stress, diet, and exercise. So a typical menstrual cycle lasts for 28 days, but this can vary from woman to woman and even from cycle to cycle. The menstrual cycle can be divided into three phases: the follicular phase, the ovulatory phase, and the luteal phase. So during the follicle phase, the body prepares for ovulation by producing follicle stimulating hormone, also known as FSH, which stimulates the growth of follicles in the ovaries. So each follicle contains an egg. As they mature, they produce estrogen, which thickens the lining of the uterus. And around day 14 of menstrual cycle, ovulation occurs. This is when the mature follicle releases an egg into the fallopian tube. The egg is viable only for 24 hours and is ready for fertilization by the sperm. So basically, the moment egg is released in the fallopian tube, that's when you can say you are ovulating. But the sperm has to reach the egg in those 24 hours only. If the egg is fertilized, it begins to divide and travel down the fallopian tube towards the uterus. So if it's not fertilized, it will be reabsorbed by the body. So the luteal phase then begins after ovulation and lasts until the start of the next menstrual cycle. So during the luteal phase, the empty follicle in the ovary transforms into the corpus luteum, which produces progesterone, and progesterone helps to thicken the lining of the uterus, preparing it for the implantation of the fertilized egg. If the implantation does not occur, the corpus luteum breaks down and levels of progesterone and estrogen drops in the body, and that triggers the start of the next menstrual cycle. So it's really important to know that the menstrual cycle can be affected by many factors, and irregular cycles are quite common these days because of stress, weight changes, and medical conditions are impacting a lot of women's menstrual cycle. So as a teacher, if you understand the criticality of menstrual cycle and its variations when working with a pregnant woman, and the changing of hormonal levels that can impact their energies and overall health, you can really support mothers to know. And there are many yogic lifestyle practices that you can introduce to a mother who is especially trying to conceive, and really taking care of your menstrual health has a great role to play in the process of conception. Now, the second important factor is sperm health. So, sperm health is this. The important first step is the sperm count and the quality of the sperm. So the sperm count and the quality are really crucial factors in the fertilization process, and understanding how to optimize them can really make a difference in a couple's ability to conceive. So sperm count basically refers to the number of sperm in the semen, and a healthy count is typically considered to be around 15 million per millimeter of semen. If the count is too low, it can be more challenging to achieve fertilization, and fertility treatments may be required in that case. And the other factors that can impact sperm count that includes age, genetics, and certain medical conditions also at times. So sperm quality here refers to as the sperm's ability to swim and penetrate the egg, and it is just as important as the count. So even if a man has a high sperm count but a poor sperm quality, that can also hinder the process of fertilization. So there are several factors that can impact sperm quality. That also includes lifestyle choices such as smoking and alcohol consumption, or exposure to toxic environments, and also sometimes there are underlying medical conditions, or medical conditions can be result of excessive exposure to toxins, alcohol, or smoking, either way around. So smoking and alcohol consumption have been really linked to decreased sperm count and poor sperm quality these days. And these substances can also impact the overall health of the reproductive system, making it really more challenging for the couple to conceive. Sometimes there are some medical conditions that also has an impact, such as there is a condition called varicocele and hormonal imbalances that impacts the sperm health. So this again gives you an opportunity, if you have male clients or even the female or would-be mother clients, to really know that this is a critical factor that plays a great role in the process of conceiving. And there are also practices that you can introduce to the male partner also that really help them reduce stress and anxiety, improve their blood circulation, or balance their hormones, which can further help them enhance their reproductive health if at all they are facing any issues. And you can also really help the couple jointly work on each other's health, reproductive health, through using yogic lifestyle practices and diet practices that promotes betterment in overall health as well as the reproductive health. Now, next is the age. So the age of both partner is really essential factor in the process of conception. So women's fertility is really impacted significantly by the age, and the quality and the quantity of their eggs decrease as they get older. So the women age, as with the woman age, the chances of conceiving naturally also decreases, and sometimes fertility treatment becomes a necessity if they are too old in the age. Also, if they conceive at a later age, the risk of chromosomal abnormalities and pregnancy complication also increase, and it also makes it essential to prioritize fertility and overall health early in the life. So if ideally it's really important to make this call to reproduce early in life if anyone wants to have a very healthy pregnancy. So men's fertility is actually also impacted by the age, although not to the same extent as the women. As men age, the sperm quality may decline, but that also makes it challenging to achieve fertilization. However, men can continue to produce viable sperm well into their senior years, and age-related fertility decline is generally less drastic than as compared to a woman. So what you as teacher can do is really promote the overall health and wellness, including fertility, by the age, and understanding that those factors are playing role. So what at max we can really do with people who are at a certain age and either opting for, let's say, IVF treatment to get pregnant, or they are naturally trying even though they have aged, is to introduce some yogic practices that can once again regulate the balance of hormones, improve blood circulation, especially focusing on reducing stress and anxiety. If those are worked upon, then that plays a great role in conception here. Now you can also work on encouraging, lifestyle, choosing a healthy lifestyle options, and all those changes can help the couple to achieve conception, even though if they're a bit late, let's say the woman is in late 30s or early 40s. So some lifestyle choices and factors can also impact positively on the conception process. Now, next factor is infertility, which is infertility is a medical condition that affects many individuals and couples these days, and it is defined as the inability to conceive after 1 year of regular unprotected intercourse. So infertility can impact both men and women and can be caused by various factors, including medical conditions, lifestyle choices, and the age also. So infertility can be a very challenging and emotional experience for those affected by it, and it can really impact overall physical and mental health of the person who is suffering from this. So while the medical treatments are available to help with infertility, many individuals also seek complementary and alternative approaches to support their fertility health. So there comes a great chance if you have someone coming up to you working on their fertility health, then you can really provide them with lifestyle practices or yoga practices that can have a great role in their journey to be pregnant again. So here, to be fertile again. So here, what can play a great role is a lot of pranayamas, different kind of meditation, visualization practices that reduce stress and anxiety and improves blood circulation and balance their hormones, all of which will actually contribute to their reproductive health. One additional factor that also impacts is this the infertility position of any person is that often once they know that they are suffering from infertility, they tend to have feelings of isolation, and that is when the anxiety increases a lot more, and that's when an external intervention is really helpful. So you can really counsel such people if you have someone coming up to you and provide them that sense of non-judgmental space and help them work through yogic lifestyle to recreate their reproductive health. And it's only through that inclusive environment that you can help them work through this issue that they are dealing with. Now, the next factor is the timing of the intercourse. So conception requires intercourse during a woman's fertile window that we have discussed earlier. So the time frame surrounding the ovulation when egg is available for fertilization. So knowing the timing of ovulation once again becomes very critical and essential for the couples who are trying to achieve. So if they cannot know this by themselves, they can always use external healthcare providers to guide on when is that they are ovulating. There are many apps also available, and there are medical guiding processes also that women can use. So with that, thank you for understanding this process of conception, and I really hope this enhances your understanding of the whole process of how the baby is conceived in the womb and the factor that affects the process of conception. And I really hope through understanding this, you can really help many, many individuals who are struggling to conceive and or who have conceived but struggling with miscarriages, or women who have conceived but at a stage of their first trimester. So all the care that is required in the first trimester. So I really hope you understand the criticality of the process and what needs to be done in the right timing. With that, thank you and namaste.